Welcome to this comprehensive guide on comparing Google Analytics tracking code versus Universal Analytics. In this tutorial, we will walk you through the key differences and best practices for using these two powerful tools. First, let us start with the basics. Google Analytics tracking code is a snippet of code that you place on your website to collect data about your visitors. It is also known as the asynchronous tracking code. On the other hand, Universal Analytics is an upgraded version of the tracking code that provides more advanced features and capabilities. To compare the two, let us start with the tracking code. The traditional tracking code uses a set of functions that start with _track pageview _track event and _track trans to collect data. In contrast, Universal Analytics uses a set of functions that start with GA to collect data such as page views, events, and transactions. One of the key differences between the two is the way they handle user identification. The traditional tracking code uses cookies to identify users, while Universal Analytics uses a unique client ID to identify users across multiple devices and sessions. Another key difference is the way they handle cross-domain tracking. The traditional tracking code requires additional setup to track users across multiple domains, while Universal Analytics makes it easier to track users across multiple domains with the use of a single tracking code. In terms of implementation, the traditional tracking code requires you to manually set up and configure each tracking function, while Universal Analytics provides a more streamlined setup process with the use of tags and triggers in Google Tag Manager. Now let us look at some practical examples. Suppose you have an e-commerce website and you want to track transactions. With the traditional tracking code, you would use the _track trans function to collect data about each transaction. With Universal Analytics, you would use the GA function to collect data about each transaction. In conclusion, when it comes to comparing Google Analytics tracking code versus Universal Analytics, the key differences lie in the way they handle user identification, cross-domain tracking, and implementation. Universal Analytics provides more advanced features and capabilities and is generally easier to set up and use. As a best practice, it is recommended to use Universal Analytics for all new implementations and to migrate existing implementations to Universal Analytics whenever possible.